Hello, I hope all is well. So over the past couple months, I've been building a 10 HP Ironman PKing account, and I just wanted to share some of the methods that I have been using to train with. Now, these methods are all viable for 10 HP accounts, however, some may be useful for other peers as well. The first one I wanted to touch on is something that pretty much everyone is aware of by now, and that's barbarian fishing, requiring level 48 fishing, 15 strength, and 15 agility to start out. Around level 73 fishing, I was getting about 6k strength experience per hour, but the main benefits are that you will also get around 60k fishing and 6k agility experience, so it's good ways to train agility kind of passively. Next is something I only recently learned about, and I'm really not sure how many people actually know about this as a training method. It's basically the strength equivalent to splashing. So what you do is go to the blast furnace down here, and you will actually need to go to a PvP world to actually gain the experience. You can't actually gain strength experience in regular worlds. So what you do is find a PvP world, usually 37 I've found to be viable. Yeah, right here there's already a handful of people doing it. But you're just going to operate this pump. And by doing this, you're going to gain about 4 experience per second, roughly, and pretty consistently 12,000 experience per hour. Now, this is not quite as AFKable as splashing, because if you notice the player in the back there is filling the stove. So the stove does need to remain full of coal or fuel or whatever it is there. But as long as the stove remains fueled, meaning maybe there's other players there assisting, you can pretty consistently just operate this pump and gain 12k experience per hour. The big thing that differs it from splashing is if you leave your keyboard, you will log out because you're not in combat with something like a spider. But this is actually a pretty decent way to train strength if you're working on something else on another account, just getting that really passive experience. One thing about this training method is I actually have no idea if there is a minimum level requirement. I first did it around level 40 strength or so, but I'm really not aware of what or if there is a minimum requirement. What I am sure about is that this next training method, tackling organized crime, requires 40% Shazian favor to do, and it is probably my favorite training method for a 10 HP pure. It's really easy if you have 43 prayer. Basically, all you need to do is find out the location of a gang meeting from Captain Guinea, show up and set up your cannon there. It can be really helpful to world hop a little bit at Captain Guinea's tent and just ask for gang meeting times and locations in several different worlds, because what you may find is that the gang start times will be spread out a little bit. The gangs will spawn and stay for 5 minutes, so if you can find start times that are a little bit spread out, you can show up to that location and hit multiple gangs in one round, and that's the only way you're really able to maximize your experience by getting the most possible intelligence drops. Now, later on in the week, and by week I mean after the Thursday morning update date or Thursday morning or afternoon update, because of the way game ticks work, and I don't fully understand this, but as the week progresses, the start times get more and more spread out. So Thursday and Friday are probably the hardest times to maximize the amount of gangs you can do. But as you get later in the week, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those are really the best time to maximize your output doing this mini game. If you're looking for a guide on organized crime, I recommend checking out the one on Kemp Q's channel. That's how I learned how to do it. I don't plan on putting my own guide together because honestly his is better than what I would come up with. So if you're interested in learning how to do this mini game, definitely go check that out. So once you've gathered your intelligence, you'll take them to Captain Guinea and exchange them for training manuals. I did put together a spreadsheet, and I'll share it in the description, just that shows how much experience you will gain at each level from one training manual, because there's a formula that goes into that. The gangs spawn every half an hour, so you're able to do 2 rounds every hour, and if you're able to average 15 intelligence per round, you can get about 30k experience per hour at level 50, 40k at level 60, and 50k at level 70. Organized crime has the added perk of high drop rates of oak, teak, and mahogany planks, as well as cosmic runes, all of which can be extremely helpful for Iron Men. Next, I wanted to briefly mention pest control. You do need to have level 40 combat to participate, and as a 10 HP Iron Man, you need to repair the barricades to get your participation since you can't do any damage. Now, I was only able to gain maybe around 8k experience per hour, making it slightly more than barbarian fishing. However, I would strongly recommend barbarian fishing over this because you are also getting the agility and the fishing experience. Alright, so once you have reached 130 combined attack and strength, 50-80 or 60-70, whichever you prefer, you have access to the Warriors Guild. And first I wanted to show the shot put. This can be a little bit challenging on an Iron Man because you need a lot of energy or super energy potions. It's also very helpful if you have ground ashes. Just use ashes with a pestle and mortar to use them on your hands. That will reduce your chance of dropping the ball on your foot, causing 1 damage and gaining no experience. So you get experience based on how far you throw the shot put. And in my test of doing this with level 70 strength, keeping my energy at full, which is key, I was averaging close to 30k strength experience per hour. So not great, not as good as organized crime, but it takes a little bit less effort. Next, also in the Warriors Guild, and this is something I prefer over the shot put, is just balancing the keg on your head. Again, you'll want to maintain as close to 100 energy as possible with a full inventory of energy or super energy potions. You simply are going to balance a keg on your head, drinking an energy potion to keep your energy at full. I was averaging around 40k strength experience per hour. However, I've heard people getting easily upwards of 50k with higher strength levels than mine. The main benefit I think of this method is that it is semi-AFKable, so you can easily be playing another account, watching a movie, or just doing whatever while balancing the keg. The main drawback is that it may be difficult to mass produce the energy and super energy potions on an Iron Man, but the trade-off is really honestly up to you, whichever you prefer. That is going to do it for this video. I do hope you found it interesting. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.